Initiating.
So exciting!
Cannot be happening.
So exciting!
You crossed the wrong line.
Away, you rascal!
You won't survive me.
time is over.
His condition is irrational. Ouch! Continue fighting, everyone. I dedicate my... Sodi is restless. I wonder why.
Adventures are exciting.
Did you see that?
Into the fray!
On it!
World in crimson. Am I at my limit?
Away, you rascal!
Into the fray!
Am I doing it wrong? Surrender or else!
Did you see that?
Too
Every
late for
strike
apologies! I'll hit you!
Time is over.
I refuse to accept their statement.
A dear guest on my doorstep. Please do come in. You have been long awaited. We will talk, I promise, but not here. The path to your souls and the world wound's healing demands my death. The accursed threshold prison where everything began must be where everything comes to an end. So I invite you in once again. Cross this threshold. I'll be waiting for you in the heart of the fortress, in the place where the wound was opened.
With grace?
There it is. The citadel of the demon army. You know, I expected it to be formidable and fearsome, something that would make me quake in terror. But now that I am standing at its gates, I'm surprised at how little fear I feel. Do not mistake this for bravado. Our enemies are dangerous, but no more than that. We have traveled to the heart of the abyss and back again. Now we are home, on our own territory. This time, let it be the invaders who quake in terror. You know, I went to war in my brother's footsteps. He was the one who inspired me to fight against the abyss, but he himself could not withstand its horrors. He broke. He betrayed everything he believed in. So what can I do now? Only one thing. Persevere to the end. Do what Trevor could not. Pride is known as a mortal sin for good reason. It was pride that propelled my brother to join the crusade in search of glory. And look how that ended. No, I am not here to make anyone proud. I only want one thing. For this nightmare, after 100 long years, to finally be over. I will go home to Andoran, I will lay down my weapon and never pick up another so long as I live, save a knife for cutting grapevines. I will serve the goddess in our old temple, and when the peasant children come to pepper me with questions about the crusade, I will do my utmost to make sure that my stories give none the idea that there is anything beautiful or romantic about war. I had to. If I had a choice, I probably would have stayed the same naive little boy I was before the war. The boy who had never killed, who had never been to the abyss, who had never buried those with whom he had sat around a campfire only the night before. Even so, when I set out to join this war, my head was full of so many romantic notions, more than usual for a naive little boy. But life found a way to shatter those most thoroughly. Ready. Let us drive the demons all the way back to the abyss!
So this is it then. The final push. The last battle where the great heroes will vanquish Arilu Vorlesh and close the world wound, ridding Galarian of a deadly threat. That is how the chronicles will tell it, I'm sure. You know very well, my friend, that this was never my war. I was merely following the person who offered me protection. I could not have cared less where you led me. And I still do not care about the cause for which we are fighting. I probably ought to have cast you off, rather than lay my head on the chopping block alongside yours. But I've grown attached to you now. I don't like the idea of you perishing in this place. That is why I shall help you win. Don't thank me. Not here, not now. I simply felt that I ought to tell you the truth. Nothing more. It seems I have grown overly sentimental after all our travels. Rush headlong into battle, come what may. I approve of this plan.
Not a bad spot to end this war. Formidable, menacing. It has a certain style about it. Seeing as our contract is coming to an end, Commander, let me just say that you are the most impressive client I've ever had the pleasure to work with. And a highly lucrative pleasure it's been, too. Of course not. Where else would I have had so many adventures? Besides, it's thanks to you that I've been able to add so many accomplishments to my service record, which will boost my rates in the future. You know, it's jobs like this, the ones that are both fun and pay well, that make me love what I do. Huh. Well, it sure wasn't in the name of Iomade. Of course, money's not the be-all and end-all. You dimwits need someone with a clear head on your side, someone to watch your back. I know how you hero types love sacrificing yourselves at the drop of a hat. Now you're talking. Why don't you show me who it is we need to kill to win this war? Arilu Vorlesh? I'll wish that lady sweet dreams with unalloyed pleasure.
Chief, is there any chance, even a tiny one, that we can just call this whole thing off now and go home? Before, I would have just made a run for it, but I can't do that now. Something is holding me back, and I really don't like the thought of leaving you high and dry. See what you turned me into? If you want to send me to the front line, I ain't going, so don't even try that hero stuff on me. I'm gonna fight because I don't want to die. And because we're kind of friends now. And don't you go getting yourself killed either. I can't stand being sad, so just don't do that to me. Likewise. Well, come on. What are you standing around for? Go and command this crusade of yours. Let's try to wrap this up quick. That reminds me! The Thiefling's merchandise is still at your disposal. So don't be afraid to ask if you find yourself in need of something.
This is it. The last fortress. It's been a long road from the river city to here. We walked and walked and walked along the road, and suddenly, there's no more road. Nobody is ready. It will be scary, very scary. In the last fortress, all the lies will end, and the truth will rise. It's scary, but it's good. Nobody knows what will happen next. People are afraid of the future, so that's why they make it up. They lie to themselves so it's not so scary. They convince themselves and others of the things they make up. But one day the future will come. The story ends, for better or worse. When everything's already happened, there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. And there's no reason to lie. The Redeemed Knights say they need me. I think they can manage fine without me, but maybe I really can help them somehow. I think we'll do a lot of good together. Hear that, Soot? It's time.
You were observing me earlier whilst I was practicing with my rapier, Daron. Did you find it a captivating sight?
Oh, indeed. As captivating as a dancing cobra, a rushing avalanche, or a raging thunderstorm. And just as with those natural phenomena, it is important to do two things: enjoy the view and keep one's distance.
Commander, you promised us victory when it seemed impossible. and you did not let us down. Doing the impossible is your specialty. You have led us here, to the very gates of the enemy's lair. Now we will end this century-long nightmare once and for all.
You're so good at toppling fortresses by now, you can almost keep time by it. The Grey Garrison, Dresden, and now Threshold. So are we coming up on noon or midnight on the commander clock? Doesn't matter. The bards can settle that one. It's the hour of your triumph. Of course. It was a long time ago now, but it's not the kind of thing you forget. I was almost buried alive. If it wasn't for you and Sela, my skull would be lying in some cave right now with only rats for company.
It was unforgettable. That attack on the Grey Garrison was the last desperate push, the last hope of holding the city when it seemed only a miracle could save us. We would have died there. But you and Anevia leapt out of the ground, and then miracles began to happen.
We have a chance. And that's a far sight better than how things stood not so long ago. Of course, it's too early to celebrate. We've still got a battle to fight, the likes of which we've never seen before. But I think you can pull it off.
With you leading us, those monsters should be worrying about their chances of escaping with their lives.
Personally, I'm going to be doing a big pile of nothing. For a month, or maybe 2. Irabeth too. Wheedling, blackmail, violence. I'll stop at nothing to drag her away on her first ever vacation.
Whatever you say, I can see surrender is my only option. We've waited so long for this. Onward to victory!
Lead on, Commander.
Calculating the likelihood of your victory. Taking into consideration the fortifications of Threshold, the long period it has been under demon control, and Aurilu Vorlesh, who is personally overseeing the defense, I would give the Crusaders a 30% chance of success at most. Of course, the presence of an illustrious scholar of Golarion in your ranks, meaning me, immediately increases your chances by 5%. Fear is an unproductive emotion that typically gets in the way of a good experiment. And I have never indicated that I do not support my loyal follower in her battle against the demons. I simply calculated your chances of success. If you win, I'll make sure to mention you in my encyclopedia. Aha! With that as an incentive, your chances have increased by 5%. Consider this my contribution to your victory.